Hey, that sound means one thing, and that is that the Comedy Time Machine has taken us back once again. This week, we have gone all the way back to 1998, the first week of March. I am your host, Steve Mazan, my co-host and co-pilot, Denise Mazan, and we have a very special guest, Jose Sarduy. Am I saying it right? Sarduy?
Hey, thanks for having me, you guys. It's gonna be so much fun.
What a great name. What a great name you got, Jose Sarduy, because Jose, and listen, this is just dumb American I am. Jose, obviously, Mexican, Spanish name.
Right.
Sarduy, you just hear Sarduy, I think, like it sounds Italian.
Yeah. Hey, this guy's got meatballs.
He's
and
got
his mom wears little scarves, and she makes tamales.
He does it all. So is it Sarduy? Is that a Mexican name?
Well, it's that's how my second grade teacher pronounced it in Miami. So I'm like, that's how they say it in America.
That's what they say.
It's Sarduy, which is still French sounding.
It does sound,
because my family's from the Vizcaya area, which is northeast part of Spain, which is right next to France. So that's
nice. Now, are they still back there? Or do you have family?
No, I don't know, actually. Like, my grandpa's 97, and my carrot for him to live longer is I said, you make it to 100, we're doing a trip back to Spain to find the other Sarduys. And he was like, estos muchos años.
He's going.
Too many years. So
awesome.
So Jose confuses people because I'm not the standard south of the USA. It's always brown.
Right.
Yes. But if you go to like Argentina, they all look like me.
Yeah.
And they're annoying. And then you go to, but even if you go to Mexican television, everybody's pale skinned.
Yeah.
Really? So it isn't
even in Mexican television, the brown skinned people are working in the kitchen.
They get the same way.
Yes.
But it shows you it's everywhere, right?
That's where it came from.
We're just talking about it doesn't matter. Even in even they've made jokes about it forever. In the black culture, light skinned blacks get more respect than dark skinned blacks. I mean, that's changed a bit in recent years, but for a long time that was that way.
Was that a Chris Rock joke? Like, I ain't that black.
Right. There's a lot of black, and you hear the story about Eddie Murphy was the blackest person on TV ever when he first came out live. No one had been that black. And
wow, no, I didn't never heard of that.
Yeah,
but I did this. I was doing a television interview, and I made this reporter laugh. On the couch, and I was like, "Is that one ready for television?" That joke? Because I go, yeah. Everybody that came raped everybody, and then I just descend from the rapees, and not from the rapers, not from the rapees, And he was laughing, and I was like, I don't think I could tell that one during the segment,
but it is true. Like that's history. Whether we want to admit it, we all at some level descend from rapists somewhere.
At some
somewhere, someone in our family. Like it wasn't You see today in 2015. There's much less than we're in 98 now.
Right.
1998. Much less than in the future in 2015 that people would mix races and stuff like that. But even then, I remember in the late 90s, if you saw a black man with a white woman, like it was obviously much more common than 20 years before that. But there was still the thing like people would be like, oh, well, that's it's much. So you go back to when how many different ethnicities are you? You got what? English, Dutch. What are all of them?
Is this gonna cause a problem?
No, please tell me. I'm saying
I have several, but I know what you're getting at.
But my point is that
just all conquerors.
That's my point. Is
people that weren't happy with their
exactly.
We don't like this landmass. We need more. Does it require killing people and rape? Hell yeah, bonus.
That's exactly it. It wasn't like the English and the Dutch and I know you're part Native American.
Yes, I am. Yes.
So you have some conquered Indians.
Exactly.
Yes.
That's what I'm saying. Like it wasn't like, hey, we love Indians. Let's get together with them. There was some conquering going on. So I think
you read those passages from like the priests that they would take on the boats in the first explorers, and they're like, they do some things really well. Like there's no crime in their cultures, and the people are like, no, we're still gonna rape them.
Right, that will do. Robbery.
We're not learning from savages.
Right. No. We don't rob from each other, but we will. Yeah, we'll do some raping when we get over.
But there's a lot of history in that, and that's my line that I always remember is like, we all got blood on our hands. I think that's let's not get too hoity-toity about it.
I think that's a good approach to life, because we were just talking about that at lunch, that sometimes people think in my own life I've tried to keep things clean, but we all have a history behind us. We're all coming from something that's a little tarnished, so be a little. But
you can still look at progress, right?
I mean, of course,
we all have rapists.
We don't want to accept it too much.
We have it in our history, but look at how much we've weaned it out of the system. You know what I mean? Now there's a whole movement to stop sexual assault and to reclassify things that in the old days would have been not considered sexual assault. And now it's like, I think that's rape, you guys.
Yeah,
like,
that's exactly it.
I think got a lot better.
And it's probably that thing. Yeah, we don't want to accept it too much to where we're like, oh, it was okay. You know what I mean? Like, but it is. Yeah. But what did you give me the stare down?
I'm just so curious of how we're gonna make the leap from that over to movies.
Speaking of rape movies,
we're talking about history, lady. It's history.
We'll cover out. We are at, I should point out, we're at the San Luis Obispo Comedy Festival. That's where we're doing this podcast from. And that's where we met Jose the other night. We did a great show at a gallery.
Well, you guys had met before, right? Or did
No, we had never met before.
Oh.
And Jose kicked it off. For us, you kicked off the whole festival, but you kicked off, you hosted that night. And I really think this is one of the greatest compliments you can give a comedian. Yeah. You killed it in the opening spot.
Yeah, you did.
Thank you.
It was amazing, super funny. You know what I mean? And it's the beginning, and you're like, oh, it's a cold audience. You're just not. You're like, if he gets the crowd on board, you're happy. And you, like I said, you killed it. The audience loved you. It was really impressive.
Thank you. I got that hosting gig for Stand Up and Deliver on Nuvo TV, which is now going to become Fuse.
So check this out.
Television, and I've hosted before. I've done a lot of hosting in the past, and it was just like you're more like a wedding organizer. That's what I always felt like. Sure. Hey, everybody, we're here for a party. You know, I set it up kind of in the vein of, I saw when I did some European stuff, I saw the Compeers in England, and I saw the job they did at host. It was like very much their show. Yeah. You know what I mean? They made it like, hey, we're going on a journey together. I got some great comics for you guys. It's going to be great. So I like that attitude. Yeah. We got to bring that back to the US instead of like, let's put a sacrificial lamb out there.
Right. Yes.
That's while people are ordering drinks and getting their food and, you know, just to buy some time for the other people. I wanted to maybe bring that back, you know, where the
you're doing a great job at it. I see why they've got you on the TV. So listeners at home, look for it. You'll love Jose, and check out his comedy. I'm sure it's all over YouTube and everything. So
Jose Sarduy.
In fact, I'm going to put your Twitter up right now so people can find you there.
Yeah,
Twitter, find him. Yeah. I had a question about the hosting thing. It's very interesting. I have a little story about that. Rosie O'Donnell. Yeah. When they, stand up hit all over cable in the 80s, and so they did an MTV show. I can't remember what it was called, Stand Up Live or something like that.
Yeah, MTV's half-hour comedy hour.
Stand up. But it was where it was like a showcase where they'd show four people.
Yeah.
It's okay. So maybe
VH1 had one. That Bobby Collins ended up hosting.
Right.
But Rosie was the first.
Rosie was the first one. So she tells a similar story that they asked a bunch of people about being the host of the show, and no one wanted to host it because they looked at hosting as the lowest spot in the totem pole. They're like, I'm a headliner. I tour around. I don't want to. I'll go on and do a set. So she accepted it. She's like, I'm going to be on every week. And that's basically what made her a star. Yeah. And then she got movies and stuff out of that. So it's
I love that. Yeah. That was the like, I didn't ever think I would be a comedian. Yeah. Like I want to be an astronaut.
Yeah, listen, before we get into it, you've got an amazing background besides the comedian, all the stuff. If I just said what we've said about you already amazing. You're hosting a TV show. It's produced by, Jennifer Lopez, her company?
Yeah, she's my boss. Yeah.
That's amazing.
I've met her once. It's pretty awesome.
Yeah, was it intimidating?
Everybody's like, what, did you guys make out? I'm like, no.
You're like, yes.
Right. It was a pleasure to meet you. It was a pleasure to meet you. That was it.
She roped me. She's kind of handsy.
People saw that picture. They're like, you guys make a nice couple. I'm like, there's a bit of an imbalance in pay.
Maybe, but still, we know Mark Anthony.
She doesn't seem to care about that. She married one of her dancers. Chris, whatever his name is.
She did, I guess, but I mean, I don't know how that dynamic worked out. I don't know if he was.
It didn't work out. Who cares if it works out?
The rest of your life, really?
What?
Do you need the rest of your life with her?
No.
Well, there you go. We're not talking about.
I'm fine with. Listen, if there was
any
attraction,
she's just being her, employee.
If she had seen me, and I would have like, I think I saw something. Yeah, I saw. Just let's take this picture so I can get back to dealing with my life. And I was like, that's fine. there was no spark. So it was like,
I got to get back to the block. I'm busy. Let's go. You're a better looking man than Mark Anthony, so I think you have a chance, is what I'm saying.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
I'd be remiss if I didn't ask. How was the caboose? Or can you not say because that's your boss? And
she's got a fantastic
amazing,
figure.
Right?
And I didn't want to say anything about it. I have a joke about it.
Yeah. Oh, you do?
Yeah. I do. Like when I see her, this is the joke I tell. Like when I see her, my brain has a battle. Right. On one side, it's like, look at that strong Latino woman. She just makes me proud to be, you know, a Hispanic person in America. The other side is my dad's voice. Like, I like that booty. It looks like it can defend itself. Like the kind of booty you hit it and hit you back. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the joke I made.
Right.
We were doing upfronts, right, where you sell, where the channel sells
or the
advertisers, whatever. And I was doing a segment, and I was like, I'm not gonna do that joke. I think that'd be inappropriate. I shit you not, 6 months later, I don't even curse. 6 months later, that booty video with Iggy Azalea comes out, and I was like, I should have made that joke. I should have done the joke. That would have been completely appropriate.
It seems harmless, compared to this.
Right.
Yeah.
So then you're still in the Air Force too?
Yeah, I'm a reservist now. I left active duty in 2008 to do this full time.
Okay.
And I started while I was in active duty. Okay. So it was pretty interesting at the time.
That's amazing. I was in the Navy for 6 years, and I look back now and I'm like, wow, I didn't start till way after I was in the Navy. So I think about that, how hard it would have been to even think about starting when you're in the service. So,
I mean, the last year I was in, I was a flight commander. So I had flight commander duties. I had no assistant. And I was trying to tour twice a month.
Wow.
Yeah. So I was trying to go on the road twice a month. I would take leave and go on the road.
Wow.
So I didn't sleep. Like that last year, I knew I was getting out. I was like, I didn't sleep at all. I remember specifically there was an inspection due on Monday. It's like a big inspection, and everybody was looking at my department. Like, your department didn't do very well last time, and I'm like, I got no assistant, whatever. So I had a gig that weekend. I planned it months ago, and I'm like, son of a bitch. So I had 3 days to do basically 2 weeks of work. So I was at the job about 19 hours a day. I slept on my couch in the office, and then I just wanted to work. And then when it was done, I hopped on the airplane, just exhausted to go tell jokes.
Holy cow.
So it was a big sacrifice the last year.
Sure.
But then once the next year came and I was full time, I loved it, man.
But yeah, that, like I said, impressive that to start when you're in the service, because I know all the demands. Again, you're basically on 24 hours. If they need anything, they're going to be calling you, and especially being a flight commander. What? Where were you then? Where did you start? Where was like your first open mic?
I was stationed in New Jersey, and I was flying cargo planes. And cargo planes are a really exciting job. You travel the world.
It's like C-130s and that kind of
stuff.
It
was a C-141. It's a now retired airplane. It was really old. Like anybody, if you tell them in the Air Force, like, would you fly the C-141? They're like,
50s?
Are you a time traveler from World War II? You know, so it was an old plane.
Okay, good.
I call it.
If anything happens with our time machine, you can fly.
It was in '98. It was flying all the time.
Yeah,
it was all over the place. In '98, it was not the Millennium Falcon of the Air Force. Yes, it was still a regular airplane. So I was, you know, I didn't make it as number one. I wasn't going to make it as an astronaut because I was an aeronautical engineering major, but I barely graduated with that degree. Like, I did a briefing.
So is it one of those things you got to be? It's only the best of the best of every single thing you touch.
So I was like, I could still make it, but I'd have to do really good at my master's to be considered whatever. So so that was like a hoop that I almost.
That's impressive.
I just got over, and then you have to become a fighter pilot. Essentially, they don't take cargo pilots.
Wow.
Or you have to be a scientist. Like, you could be a top-notch scientist or an engineer and go up but to fly the space shuttle. That was the thing at the time. In '98, space shuttle, big time.
Yeah.
You had to be a pilot, and you had to be a test pilot. You had all these hoops that you jumped through. And I didn't make fighter pilot because they branch you off in pilot training, and I missed it by like a couple percent.
Shit.
Everybody's like, oh man,
that's crazy.
Normally in every class, we just had a really competitive class. Normally you would be one of the top guys. And
that's right. Just the luck of the draw. What class you end up in, right?
There was a kid who was he was a rancher and never flew airplanes, just a natural. Right, there was a kid that used to do like a flying circus.
Yeah,
like who the fuck? There's a flying circus.
Like, that's who you're up against.
This is my competition.
That's who you got.
So I didn't make it, and then I just kind of like had lost my passion, and I was in McGuire, New Jersey, and I was visiting a girlfriend, whatever. I was at a bar, and I made everybody laugh with not jokes that like I watched so much comedy because I loved it. Like, I could tell other people's jokes.
Yeah.
But they just want to hear stories about my mom and all that stuff. And I made everybody laugh. A girl like snorted beer, dude fell out of his chair. I was like,
any injury, I would think is always good,
like,
right?
This is serious.
Yeah.
I can do this. So I started researching how to
did you get the like rush, the comedy rush of like you made somebody laugh and you're like, oh, this feels really good?
Not there, because I've done that before. But that was the first time it was that I remember it being just stories about me. Like, I didn't use a Seinfeld joke or something as an anecdote or something. Mm-hmm. And then I did research for a year and a half because I love comedy so much. I was one of those comedy fans that if I sat in the audience and a heckler spoke up, I'm like, what the
this son of a bitch.
Shut up, dude. You want me to take him? You want me to take him? I'll get him out of here. You know, like I was that.
You're a purist before you put your foot in. That's great.
And so when a comedian would handle a heckler, I'd be like, thank you. You were so awesome. You saved the show. You know, like I was that kind of a supportive comedian fan. So I didn't want to ruin the art form. So I set a clear amount of time before I was like, if I'm not funny in this time, I'm gonna get out and not sully the art form.
Yeah.
And then about a month in, I got my first big laugh. And I was like,
yeah.
I had chuckles before that.
Sure.
But then that first big laugh, you're like, what did I say? What did I say? Oh my God. So I started in New York and Philadelphia, and
great.
It was just as the airplane was getting phased out. So they were retiring the airplane. So the last maybe 2 years of the airplane, 2003, 2004, I was working in an office. There was like 10 officers in my unit, and there were only 2 airplanes left. So we hardly ever flew missions, and we hardly ever flew. So my job was an office job. He's like, if you can get your job done in 4 hours, you can leave. I'm like, shit, yeah. So I would get up at 6:30, get to work at 8, finish work at 12, get back to Philadelphia at like 1:15, change really quick, hop on the bus from Chinatown to Chinatown, and do open mics all day.
Nice.
And then take the train back, the Amtrak back at like 1:30, go to bed, wake up, and I would do that
all over, right?
Wow. It was amazing. And so that first year, my best week, I think I had 18 5-minute sets in 1 week. Like I was building material really quickly. So my first book gig was like maybe 4 months in, and I had to do 20 minutes, and I had 22 minutes. So I was like, I hope none of these don't work.
Show off. You had more than you needed. Everyone I know, their first paid gig, they're always like, I don't have enough material. So it was always like talk slow, stretch it out, work the crowd, all that kind of thing. But I always think that's good. You always want to get in over your head a little bit.
Well, I'm the only one that had a spreadsheet. I was an engineer, so I had a spreadsheet.
You're right. You had everything else,
and I had times that it worked, and it was like I had statistical equations for where to put new jokes and stuff. Put the new one in between these two. These are 293 percenters.
I've got some notes I want to show you. Afterwards.
So I knew when they did well, how long the laughs went, and when they did poorly, how little laughs they got. So I was like, I averaged it out. So on average, it was 22 minutes.
I love it. This is I lived in a one of these comedy condos with 3 other comedians in San Francisco when I started, and there was a guy that very similar did the same kind of thing, and everyone at first scoffed at him because most comedians are they're not lazy. You have to be such a hard worker to get it, like you said, just to go out and hang out in these places and write and and again, you're doing the hardest thing in the world. The thing people say they don't want to do is talk in front of people, and you're doing it. But on the level that like this side stuff, of course, I always thought, like, of course, why wouldn't you do that? Why wouldn't you keep track of every little thing? It's just in that way, it's like anything else. You want to find out what works, how often it works. You know what I mean? Like that.
But I don't know if this is true for you, but that first year or two, I was so fucking annoying. Oh my! I look back in hindsight, and I would go and I walk into an office, and they would be like, it's Jose, because they knew I was going to try.
You were going to try
jokes on them.
Yeah.
And when you first start, it's like 1 out of 10, maybe.
Right.
Like,
right. Yeah. You
didn't tell anybody for a long time that you were
right. I kept it quiet. I was so nervous. That's what I almost mean about the writing the stuff out like an engineer. There's a lot of times people are like, oh, how do you do this? And I'm like, there's not one there's a common way that people do it, but there's still off of that all these branches of different ways, just like you said, that you would go and try stuff out. I was the opposite. I wouldn't tell anyone, I wouldn't unless it was on stage, and I didn't want anyone ever even once they found out, I didn't ever want them to think I was trying shit out on them or being on, or you know what I mean, too much, that kind of thing. But that's what I'm saying, it's a wide berth that there's so many there's not one way to get it done.
Took me a long time to find out that being on thing was annoying to people. It took me a while. When I discovered it, I'm like, I'm so sorry. So sorry. But you guys helped me build 30 minutes.
Listen, whatever works. Who cares? Yeah. Thank those people. I remember I had a day job when I first started for the first couple of years. You're like you said, just trying to stock away material so you come up with your first half hour so you can go on the road. And I'd come in, and once they found out the secretary at the place, it's almost the opposite of what you're saying. They once they know, they want you to be on a little bit, right? I mean, so I know people would be disappointed. Your friends, I think, were disappointed when they
were really disappointed.
They're like, this guy's not funny. They would meet me and they're like, comedian? Right, exactly.
This is the guy you chose? Oh my God.
As a person,
in every aspect.
they liked him.
Right.
I think they liked him better than me. But then they would be like, do jokes. Or then I remember one time when we first moved in together, I had, I think, video of your comedy and I put it on the TV in the living room and you were so mad, like you either left or something because you were like, do not put this on when I'm around because it was not because they were always like do jokes because you know, like in LA if you're gonna do comedy it's last minute typically and so they were always like when are we gonna see him and you know it's like I don't pay attention to when he's performing.
So when they finally saw me perform they were like, oh my God.
Oh,
you're so funny. We didn't
that.
think so.
Yeah,
we didn't think like, you know, because you're not, again, because I think you say a comedian, people really do expect you to be like a clown and like,
you're ugly. That shirt's disgusting.
Exactly. So anyways, I'd go into my office and the receptionist at the front, she was this young Mexican girl, and she Bianca, and she'd be like, hi, Steve, how was your weekend? And I was like, oh, you know, too short. And she'd be like, and I was like, what do you mean? She'd be like, too short, that's not funny. And I was like, I wasn't trying to be funny. Like, and she's like, yeah, you should do something else. And I was like, oh whatever. Oh, wow. Don't say whatever. That's been done. Like, you know, I was like, no, I'm just being a person. I'm not trying to make you laugh. But so some people really think that. They think, they want you to always be on. Yes, come on in.
Hello.
Hey.
Am I interrupting the podcast?
You are, but come on in. We would love to have you.
Slaton.
Rich Slaton, can you sit over on the thing here?
Rich,
I don't know if you met my wife Denise.
Hi, Rich.
Nice to meet
Pleasure to meet you.
And you know Jose, obviously.
Yes.
Hello.
Rich and I are old friends.
Rich, you are welcome to the Comedy Time Machine, our podcast. We're very happy to have you.
Thank you.
Special guest.
Yes.
$12.98. That's good.
Had I known, I'd get your Twitter. Give your Twitter to our.
It's at MMA Comic, and I apologize for that awful Twitter handle.
No, that's good.
Awesome.
That's a
he loves MMA.
Right?
Yeah, I do. It feels like the kind of Twitter handle for a guy that like drives trucks at people. I don't know why.
You're going to you could try. Yeah. That Bigfoot in the parking lot must be his. That's his. Rich, so let me just tell you the premise so you understand once we get into
it. Which we haven't even started.
We haven't even started. We've been having so much fun with Jose talking comedy shop. But we go back in history. We take our Comedy Time Machine back in history to this week, the first week in March for this week, anywhere in history. So 1998, we talk about what's happening in pop culture in 1998.
Sure.
What's held up, what sucks, what we're embarrassed of, all that kind of shit.
Perfect. Yeah.
But Rich, where did you start comedy? We were talking a little bit last night.
Well, I started in LA, but my first ever set was actually in Laughs at Tucson.
Okay, I love that club.
Yeah,
I love that.
I was there for a business trip. And it was supposed to do a 3-hour conference for 90 people. And one guy showed up and he was drunk.
Oh my God.
And after 15 minutes, he stumbles out. He's like, I gotta get something to eat. And I put him in a cab. I called the club to see if there was a show. There was an open mic. I did 3 minutes. I got 2 chuckles and that was it.
Hooked. That was enough. We were just saying, like, how important is that when you first start? Like, the chuckles, were you hooked then? You get the chuckles and you're like,
right in the vein.
Yeah, I mean, it was October 20th, 2003, New York Comedy Club. It was the side room. It was 3 hardened comics and a guy that just got out of prison. And I did 5 minutes. I got 1 legitimate chuckle. One time I actually got the black comic, the girl, she rolled her eyes at me. Rolled them. I was like, okay, that's not a good joke. And the guy that came out of prison laughed at everything. So that kind of felt good. But I think he wanted to rape me. But 1 chuckle, 1 joke, and that was enough. I was sold. I was like, yeah, that was good. Doesn't it?
It is. You get hooked, right? Like that's everything terrible that follows, all the shitty hotels.
Yeah.
All the awful gigs, all the late nights, the shitty food, the crappy, the awful treatment from the club sometimes, or they act like you're in imposition to even be there for them. Like that, it's that drug, like you said in the band. That's what keeps you going, right? Like
you love
so should I tell them what we found? Speaking of shitty hotels, should I say like
what did we find?
So I put food on. So there's like a shelf underneath the TV, and we got crackers the other night. They were sealed. I bought them, put them, and so I picked up the crackers, and on the bottom of the box from that shelf was the pubic hair.
Oh,
Gross.
Did you guys get the complimentary used Band-Aid in your shower?
No. Oh, no.
Yeah, which is
worse?
worse?
Call
the
after.
Band-Aid or the
It is tough. Yeah, let us know what you think there. What you
which
think
is worse?
Which is worse? Comedy Time Machine, let us know.
First of all, how does the pube getteth?
How does it
down
get in
there?
Yeah, that's
under the teeth. Like
someone was
happening?
having sex with our shelving unit. is what appears
It's a great party
to have been happening.
I mean, the maids are like, we can't get all of the pubes.
It may have been the maid's puke. We don't know. She may decorate in.
I'm out of chocolates. Here's a Band-Aid.
I just cut myself. Do you have a Band-Aid? There's one. I left one in your bathtub.
That's right.
Yeah, just use that one.
Only use once. I had my shoes.
Rich said we're here at the San Luis Obispo Comedy Festival, the SLO Fest. Rich, you were hosting. I didn't get to see it last night because they wouldn't let anyone in the room. It was so packed.
Yeah.
How did that show go?
It was
really, the Poison show, which everyone's drunk, right?
It's my favorite show.
Were you drunk?
Oh, I'm in so much. I have to go stack chairs now, and I'm like, I don't want to do any of that shit. I can't move. I can't think. No, it was great. They're a tight crowd, like all packed in. That room's perfect.
Yeah.
It's I've done that. This is my third time doing that show because I did the festival last year and 3 years ago. 3 years ago when I did it, the next day Warren B. Hall and I are talking, and he's like, "Hey man, I really loved that joke you did about 1,000 dicks," and I was like, "I didn't do that joke last night." He goes, "No, on your second set." I was like, "I did a second."
That's awesome. Yeah.
So ever since, it's been my favorite.
Well, I showed up last. Oh, you did the show too, Jose.
I did. Yeah, I snuck on there as the.
Were you drunk too?
No, I quit drinking 3 years ago, so I snuck on. I had.
But he hit. I hope
did you
the
have
camera.
A fake beer?
I had a lemonade.
I tested
it
right.
See, it's got color, so it's obviously something.
I tested it right before he went on. I said, "Let me see your drunk act." So if you get to the camera,
so I was like, "All right, here's Jose sober.
Yeah,
here's Jose drunk."
Very James Franco,
nice,
yeah, right? Yeah, very. It got you on the show. It worked. It worked.
Fun. Plus, I've done a lot of drunk crowds, and I never drank before a show. Because by the time the show progresses, you're the smartest guy in the room, and it's very easy to control them. It's like
just before you came in, we were talking about that. Everyone thinks they're like, how do you do comedy? And there's one. I was like, there's so many different.
Oh yeah.
And obviously, right here, like you scoffed when he said he never drank.
Yeah.
Like,
what are you talking about?
What are you doing?
This guy's ridiculous.
Unprofessional.
What kind of comedian
are you? Brent was doing hosting. Brett was hosting last night. Yeah. He was so drunk that
it was so fucking funny.
You're supposed to be timing, so you get the light. Yeah. During in between the last two people, he's nowhere to be found. He's outside smoking a cigarette. Totally forgot to come back in and give him
like he'd come back in and you could tell like his eyes are each time he'd go out after each comedy he'd be a little more glossy and
he's like, oops,
and he'd come in.
Has she been on?
Exactly.
I'm very impressed with how I kept it together hosting last night because I drank a pitcher in the 45 minutes before.
Holy shit,
I was stone cold sober. Pitcher in 45 minutes.
I was gonna say when I talked to you, you seem very sober. So I was.
Well, I also have a lot of practice being very drunk. I've been doing it for a while. But yeah, so I was like, luckily I was like, no one ran over. I mean, you ran the light by about 1 billion years, but that's because
2 minutes.
Because you're my friend and I respect you.
The one person not drunk.
Yeah, the one guy.
This is why you're supposed to drink.
He gave me the light, and I had a minute, but he gave me the light at my time.
So that was my fault. I owed you some extra time.
That's right. That's cool.
All right. Well, let's dive in. We're back in 1998. So here we go. 1998. We love to talk about what the pop culture was that week. See if any of this holds up. This is if we went out to the Marquee this week and saw what's up in the movie theater. 1998. This first week of March. Let me know if you guys remember this movie. And I'll give you a little test. Let me know if you can name anyone that's in the cast. The movie number 10 this week, The Borrower'S. Do you remember this? The Borrower'S.
No. Wait, is that a cartoon?
Yes.
I think I did watch it. Yeah.
About many people?
Yes.
Little people.
You guys are piecing it. You guys are a good team.
We don't steal. You're kind of stealing.
Just because you're little doesn't mean
shit.
Yeah.
And taking people.
The Borrower'S. The Thieves wouldn't have been a good title for a kids movie, right? Little fucking Thieves. Opening this week. The voices. Actually, I think John Goodman was a real person in the movie.
Okay.
And then the voices of Jim Broadbent and Hugh Laurie, which I don't even know. He's the guy from House.
Yeah.
I don't even know if House was
No,
out. Right? 98?
I don't think he'd done anything.
Mid-2000s, right? So The Borrower'S, okay, I didn't see that one. How about this one, you guys? A Dark City? And I've heard good things about this one.
Yes.
Yeah,
you saw that? I didn't see that.
I didn't see it either, but I've heard fantastic
It's like a bunch
things.
of people in trench coats, I think.
Yeah, it was like a better...
I'm going to go see it right now.
Yeah. the thing about that movie, I think it was like a better version of The Matrix or something like that. Like
okay.
It's a very intelligent movie.
How dare you.
I could not focus.
First Matrix, fantastic.
Yeah, but I could not focus on the lead actor because he had one eyelid that was more closed than the other. Like,
oh really? Yeah.
Yeah.
It wasn't a Rufus Sewell. Was the
like
guy's name.
it was like, is he doing that on purpose?
Is this really him?
Is he drunk for the scenes? How did this guy get
That
cast?
is awesome.
And then I get to Hollywood and I realize how hard you got to be a really great actor
to
have a disfigurement like that and still get hired for a movie. But I was like, this is a great movie, but something's wrong with his eye.
So you guys recommend it? I've heard good things.
Great.
Never seen it.
Great.
Oh, you didn't see it either?
No, I just know that it exists.
Rufus Sewell, William Hurt, Kiefer Sutherland, and Jennifer Connelly, probably at her height right there, right?
Yeah, it's a great flick. Yeah.
Great movie at number 8. I think everyone remembers this. It may have. I think it went on to win Best Picture, maybe. As Good as It Gets, or no, Best Actor. I think Nicholson.
Oh yeah,
Jack Nicholson, Helen Hunt.
That was
remember that?
Helen Hunt has since done a completely naked scene.
That's right.
But at the time, her wet T-shirt, that was the first time I was like, hey.
Yeah.
I never saw this.
Yeah, she was mad about you very stuffy.
Mad about you didn't have this.
Yeah.
I saw that movie in a plane, and you know when they're having the thing at the very end, it's like the climactic moment when he's having the conversation with her, that very high.
You make me want to be a better man. I think it's the speech.
Yes, I missed it because at the very end the pilot comes on and turns it off, and I was like, wait! I just spent 2 hours on this.
I'm in the middle of this.
Yes. Yeah. So I didn't ever even see the end of the movie. So
Helen Hunt was on a roll right around then too. I'm pretty sure that What Women Want was not far off.
Yes, I think around the same year. Yeah. She was on it and then she disappeared, right? She had a big breakup with Hank Azaria.
Yeah.
I don't know.
From the voice guy
don't,
from the
don't, don't cross Hank. Everyone knows.
Which is weird because it's not like he was,
I hate to say it, but it really is that thing. I mean, she was not young. I think she was probably in her late 30s at that point, but now we're 15 years later.
She was super good looking.
No, but it's still, I think it just.
She's a handsome woman.
That's a great, yes. The handsome Helen Hunt.
Yeah.
Look her up. She's on Twitter at handsome Helen. It's her tag.
I like that movie a lot though.
Great movie. Greg Kinnear in it. I think he was up for an Academy Award as well. Really, maybe. Are you guys Departed fans? Do you love Departed? Yeah. I'm not as big. I loved it. It was great. Yeah. I don't think it was Scorsese's best, and it's the only thing he won Best Picture for. So you know what I mean? Like I think he's made so many better. And Nicholson was good in it. He's always good. But really, those are the last 2 movies I can remember Nicholson. Right? I mean, I guess I don't know.
Yeah, he's done a bunch.
Wolf was after this.
Officially retired.
He's officially says he's retired now.
Which I think is just cool as shit. That you're like, I'm done. I'm that cool. I'm just gonna go to basketball games and be on the court.
Yeah, you've made enough money.
Yeah, that's for sure.
What I mean,
he's done it all.
I remember walking with that movie. I'm like, you know what? I'm not that bad in relationships. I'm not.
You're better than that guy, right?
That's what I remember. And it's never that bad. I'm never crazy like that.
That's nice.
I wonder if he's collecting Social Security.
Oh, that's a good point. Yeah, he's got age,
millions.
I mean, he's still, and he's paid in. Why not?
It's got to be automatic.
You think?
I think so.
That they just send it to your bank account without you even.
Well, no, you have to do something.
That guy's got one of the. I always think Dave Grohl has one of the great lives. This guy's from Nirvana. Then he goes on as another incredibly successful band.
Right.
He's pretty good looking. He's married to a supermodel. Like everything he touches kind of turns to gold. Nicholson had a great life too, right? I don't think he's ever been married. Dated all these hot women, even when he's been in his 70s. He's dating like Lara Flynn Boyle, who's 28 or something. Right. He wrote a movie with the Monkees. You know what I mean? Like he's in Easy Rider. All these. He's in The Shining. Kubrick. Like what a great life.
For sure.
That's it. Retire, sit back, and just remember it. Right.
I think he just gets high all the time now.
Strong move. That's why the glasses.
Well, I'm glad he did this.
Exactly.
I'm glad he did Departed. It kind of like that anger management movie had to taste out of your mouth.
Ah, that's right. That was after that too. You're right. Yeah,
we did have a couple.
I'm trying to. Yeah, I was forgetting about it. I was forgetting. This is a great week for movies. We've done on the Comedy Time Machine. We'll go back some weeks and there's like 1 or 2 movies. that you're like, oh, that's good, and the rest you're like,
and we're like, sorry, this was a week's spoiler.
Yeah.
Great week for movies. So
but then again, if you think back to movies when you're a child, I loved Dolph Lundgren in Masters of the Universe. As a child.
Yeah,
I tried to watch it when I was 26, and I'm like, what was wrong with me?
Yeah, right.
Who could like this?
Have you watched Mary Poppins as an adult?
No.
That doesn't make any sense. There's the movie's complete nonsense.
Really? No.
Here's the movie. Some kid's dad isn't very nice to them often, and then another woman shows up, sings at them, they pass out. Then they go into they hang out with a hobo. The cops like don't stop from like the cops like, hey, escort these kids through a fucking forest for no reason. Then they go to a cartoon universe. The hobo makes a bunch of penguins dance for Mary Poppins, but she doesn't love him, and then she leaves. That's the whole movie.
That's the whole.
There's no plot to the movie.
Wow.
Now
I'm gonna watch it. Yeah. To see.
It just somewhere along the way when Mary Poppins shows up, she puts drugs.
You're right. Yeah. There is some psychedelic kind of right. Yeah.
And that's the whole movie.
Yeah.
All right, I got it.
It was the 60s, right? Wasn't it 69 or something? Probably that was made.
I think it was earlier than
maybe.
That.
Yeah.
It was all this. I think it was rotoscoping. Right? It was all like it won a bunch of awards for doing a bunch of cool special effects.
Yeah.
I think that's why they made the movie. They're like, we can do a bunch of
shit.
We can do this. How do we do this? Just have Julie Andrews sing some shit, and that was the whole movie.
Yeah.
Well, did you see Saving Mr. Banks?
Yeah.
With the whole story of like the lady didn't want to sell it to Disney.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't want fucking cartoons.
It's a pretty good episode. Yeah, that was a great movie. I actually saw that on a plane.
I liked that movie.
Yeah, it's a good one. All right, this is a proof of it. We got a great lineup. Good Will Hunting was number 7 that week.
That was one of my favorite movies.
Matt Damon, Ben Affleck, Robin Williams, who just passed away.
You know what pissed me off about that movie? To find out later is that those two guys, Ben Affleck and Matt Damon, wrote a first script of that movie, and it is nothing like.
Oh yeah.
The one that won.
It was almost like a spy thriller or something.
There was a guy that rewrote it, and he gets no mention.
I haven't heard that. I haven't heard. I had heard that
he's the one that should get the Oscar, but
it.
they're the pretty ones, so they let him go play stage. It was just like, what?
My favorite story about this is they flipped a coin once they got the green light to do it about who would play which role.
Right.
Because they were, they saw each other as equals. So if the coin went the other way, Affleck would have played Will Hunting. And imagine. I can't imagine that movie.
Totally different movie.
Right? Like it's just like Affleck's good, but he's not. He's not as good as Damon in that movie.
He pulls it out sometimes.
Yeah.
I mean, he just plays a douche so well.
Yeah.
I don't know if he is a douche.
But can he go that other?
Yeah.
I think he'll be a good Batman, by the way. I'm on a limb here, and I'm not gonna like the Zack Snyder movie, but I think that him as a choice for grizzled older Batman is a good choice.
Well, that's true. It is.
It could happen.
I'm hopeful.
Yeah.
I'm hopeful.
Me too.
But Good Will Hunting again.
That was my favorite movie that year.
Great movie.
Positive, I was gonna marry Matt Damon.
Me too.
Until that just
where does he live? I have to move there.
Well, and then
it's
he
gonna be
meets
hard
that
to meet him.
liar of a bartender that says she's a designer. Did she ever design anything? No. As soon as she meets him, she becomes a designer. She didn't design anything except for more babies.
A little bitterness.
And then I met you.
That's right. Yeah, thank God.
And now it's all.
And now I'm a designer. You can find my number 6. Jeez, they just keep going. What a week for movies. Number 6 that week, The Big Lebowski.
Jeez, I love
brothers rushing it. Right.
That's what I'm saying. Like, just what a week to go for us to take Comedy Time Machine. As good as it gets.
Did you guys like it the first time you saw it?
I liked it, but it is one of those. It's like a Will Ferrell movie to me. The more you watch it, the better it gets.
I remember I saw it the first time. I was like, what the.
Yeah.
This.
Yeah.
It was like I walked out
like Anchorman. Like I had to go back and watch it.
And then we were in pilot training, and it was our cult movie. Like we would get drunk in 1989, 2000. We would get drunk, and we would put Lebowski on, and it was the most quoted. I'm the dude, man. So that's what you call me, or Deuterino, or if you don't like brevity. Like we would quote the movie like constantly. It's just it grew on you.
Yeah.
Because at first it's like I don't do drugs, so I can't get this. And you get drunk. I'm like, I can't get it. I can't get it. I wanted to do that with the pins before.
So many quotes from it. I mean, Shut Up, Donnie. There's all this stuff. They have a tour in LA where
don't
you
fuck with the Jesus.
Don't pull on the Sabbath. There's so many So many great things. They have a tour in LA where you can go around and see all the places, the bowling alley, the alley where they get in the fight with this is not the anarchists, the
nihilists.
The nihilists, yes. You know, like all that stuff. It's just what a great movie.
Nice marmot. Yeah.
I was in I'm 30, so in 1998 I was in 8th grade.
Oh wow! Yeah.
So these are all like right in my
holy
wheelhouse.
Shit! This is your
And well, I was in 8th grade. I went to a Jewish day school. My class was 13 kids in 8th grade, and "Don't Roll on the Shabbos" was like the greatest thing we've ever seen in a movie.
Awesome.
I'm predicting just because I've seen the list. I know what was out this week. I've checked the marquee. I'm predicting in 8th grade there might be a date movie on here for coming up.
I actually kind of know where you're going.
You know where I'm heading with this? Number 5, Denise and I did not know this movie when we saw it on the thing. It's called Hush. Does that
I don't think you guys would know it either.
Hush is also the title of a really excellent Batman comic.
Yes.
Oh,
but just given who's in this, I don't think you guys would have seen
Gwyneth Paltrow and Jessica Lange.
Yeah.
Does that bring anything to it?
No.
I think you would have your eyes would have glazed over just.
I think this was like first week it came out, and the highest it got was 6, and then it's not even on the chart.
I think my mom and her friends might have gone and seen it.
Right, let's go see it. I
missed it.
Number 4, don't moan yet. Twilight.
But not Twilight.
Paul Newman, Susan Sarandon, Gene Hackman, Reese Witherspoon.
It's like a crime drama.
Liv Schreiber, Stockard Channing. What a great cast. And I've never seen this movie.
I've never seen it either.
And now we're like, it won't even come up in IMDb. I wanted to research it. Like, it's on there if you go to Paul Newman and look at his list. But if you put Twilight in, it doesn't even come up because of his awful,
those
awful vampire movie.
Yeah, crazy.
Poor Paul Newman. Number 3, back to good movies, I think. You might fight me on this. The Wedding Singer, I think.
Yeah, that's great.
That's got to be in the 8th grade wheelhouse, right?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, first of all, Adam Sandler. I was a kid during Adam Sandler's whole peak.
Yeah.
So he made every movie he made was made specifically
for me. Waterboy, Happy Gilmore, everything.
Yes, that was the greatest.
Yeah. So I think Wedding Singer might be his best, like where it's a complete movie. You know what I mean? Like you don't even have. I think I went with my mom to see it, and she hates Adam Sandler, and she liked the movie. You know what I mean? It was one of those like Drew Barrymore is as cute as she's ever been. I think in that movie.
Yes.
Great music, funny
gags. I think
I
went on a date to that one.
There we go. We already got one. That wasn't the one I was talking about.
No, but I know it wasn't. But I think that I went on a date with
that. Except for Waterboy, it's like I know women wouldn't like it.
Yeah.
Unless you really like football, but. That's even to me. Yeah, Wedding Singer was great.
Yeah, like I think personally I like Happy Gilmore's or stuff like there's just so many great things. But Wedding Singer seems like his most complete.
Yeah.
Movie
he's the most adult.
Hey, it's no clip.
Of the movies.
Exactly.
In all the other movies, he's an idiot or a man-child, and that one he's the most adult out of all of them.
Yeah.
So it's sad because he's
a great
really immature 30-something.
A couple of repeats that just hit me. John Goodman, we mentioned the Borrower'S. John Goodman also he had That's awesome. All right. And the number one movie this week that I expect might have been a date movie for you, Rich. Titanic.
Yeah.
Was the number one movie 1998.
Yeah, I think in 1998. No, because in 97 I was dating Tara Negro for 3 weeks before she broke my heart.
Great name.
Well, I thought, here's the problem is I thought we were dating.
She thought you were just someone paying for stuff?
Yeah.
Right. There you go, right.
Yeah. I kissed on our
He's my great gay friend.
I took her to laser tag for our first date.
That's a nice one.
Man.
Second date. Laser tag?
Yeah, all right.
Second date, the Romeo and Juliet movie, the other DiCaprio movie.
Oh, DiCaprio, yeah. Claire Danes.
So third date, I invite her to a school dance that I had I'd planned, and I kissed her on the cheek, and she freaked out and yelled at me, and I was like, "The third date, I waited 3 before I went for that."
Oh shit! This is Tara Negro.
Yeah, there you go.
I am convinced this is my favorite thing about childhood. I always think childhood names, like when you tell people, like friends or people you have, like they all sound like a made-up name.
Yeah.
Every name sounds like you made it up for a book. Who was the first girl you kissed, Jose?
Actually, I don't remember her name. We were 4.
Okay, who was the first girl you went on? Had a crush on in junior high?
The first big crush that I can remember was Audra Rodriguez.
Oh, all right, that's about the first one I said. Who was your
Hector Delgado?
They might know each other. Hector and Rodriguez might be together. Like
I tried to get Audra with a Ghostbusters quote.
Oh, nice. Which one did you go with?
I've
been slimed. I wouldn't be good.
Yeah,
right?
I'm gonna go for broke. I am madly in love with you. And she goes, "Get away from me." And then here's the best part about Audra. We did square dance. You remember square dancing?
Yeah.
PE in elementary school.
Worst PE ever.
Yeah. It's like, this is physical, right?
Yeah.
So I don't have a partner. Nobody's sitting around. And then Audra showed up late.
Oh.
And she's like, looking around. There's nobody. And she goes, "Jose, come here." Like angry. Like, I was like, so I got to be her square dance partner. And it was glorious. It's like, she smells like
we touched inner elbows.
I dosey doed the shit out of her. I did. The great thing about Titanic is it is I don't know if you remember, Steve Harvey did a great joke about Titanic and black people and all that. And I remember that's when I watched and I thought, this would be a great Cuban joke. And when I first started, that was one of the first ones I wrote.
Oh, it
was like, you know, and then there's a guy actually at the festival here, Daryl Wright, who called me out. He saw me at the Laugh Factory. He's like, that's you know, he mentioned it was in the King's of Comedy.
King's Comedy,
And I was like, it's not the same joke.
Yeah.
So then for years I would say, you know how Steve Harvey said, and then I would follow up in mine.
I see, yeah.
And then I was like, why am I doing that? They're not the same joke.
Right.
It's a similar premise, whatever. But I remember watching Titanic in '98 going, every room has a bathtub. Like, that's a raft. Everybody could survive this thing. Just get the bathtubs out. They're all porcelain bathtubs. You plug up the hole, everybody survives this thing. Who the fuck? That old couple died for no reason.
Brett's has a brilliant.
Yeah, that's the Cuban in me.
I haven't heard what's Brett's joke.
Oh, Brett's. He has a whole. He tears down the whole movie.
Yeah.
But his favorite. My favorite part of his bit is he's talking about how when she dies and goes up to heaven, you see Leonardo DiCaprio waiting for her.
Yeah.
And he's like, "What about the guy she was married to 30 years ago? They had kids together." He's up there going like, "Honey, are you on your way?"
Somewhere else.
She throws that fucking diamond in the ocean. He's like, "I worked in the mill for 38 years and you had a $10 million diamond?"
That's great. That's awesome. I love that about comics when it's such a big topic or something like that. Of course, I mean it's Titanic. It's the biggest money making movie of all time. Like, be like, no, someone else had a joke before you. You can't touch that.
Right. You find holes in it.
There was a guy when I started in San Francisco. Someone else at the end of their set said it was something so vague like, "That's my time," and the other comic was like, "Hey, I say that." And it's like, well, no, I don't think you can have "That's my time." I think someone before you said it.
This guy's doing marriage jokes.
Exactly.
These have been done.
It's so funny. like the lines that get drawn. It's awesome. So that was it. That's a great week for movies, I think. Yeah, back in '98. What did the music hold up? What's on the radio if we turn the radio on?
Well, number 10 was Casey and JoJo's All My Life. Casey and JoJo, as you know, is
you're going to be great for this, Rich, because this is when 8th grade you got the radio on all the time, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Nice. Yeah.
So,
that's a slow dance song.
Yeah. Did you any dancing?
Definitely. I definitely pelvically rubbed a few people.
A little more than Josie going.
The thing was, in '98, I grew up in Miami, where it was all pop music, and then I go to the academy, and it's a lot of people from other parts of the country, and that's when I first got introduced to rock and roll, because I thought rock and roll meant the kids that smoke pot by the tree.
Right, those are the bad kids.
You know what I'm saying? Like the 15, 20 white kids that went to my school that hung out by the tree, that we called them the tree people. They would get high by the tree, and I was like, that's their music. I don't want to be a part of that. I like the booty shorts. Like, that's the music I went to. So in '98, I was getting into rock music. I had friends that loved rock, and so I missed out on a lot of the popular music.
Sure,
I'm like, turn this off. Get the classic rock station on. Metallica. You know.
Well, good. That's it. Rich, you're going to be great for this. So okay, fantastic.
Okay, so there's just a little tiny fun fact that makes me love. Casey is that in 2001 he was arrested for 23 counts of indecent exposure.
Holy shit.
That makes me like him a little bit.
23.
That's a big.
That's not like.
That is not an accident.
That's
one count for each inch of his dick that was shown.
It is. I wonder if that was one, like, arrested and they got him on 23 counts.
And then one act of lewd and whatever.
Lascivious.
Yes. Yeah. So I don't know. There weren't details, but I was like, that's kind of awesome.
Nice.
So yeah. Okay. So number 9 is Green Day's "Time of Your Life."
"Time of Your Life," which I was telling Denise said at first. She's like, I don't remember that one. I was like, you remember it. It's so un-Green Day. It's like the least Green Day song.
Seen a slideshow. You've heard
exactly. The Seinfeld finale used it as their montage song, you know. And again, I guess they got a lot of flack for it from other punk bands. They're like,
really?
You know, this is basically a easy listening song. It's the least sounding Green Day song ever.
But I love it, man.
The
slideshow. We set a slideshow at the academy, and I realized I did not make friends with any of the yearbook people. None of our pictures, and our pictures would have been great. And I'm like, shit, I'm like not in any memory. It's just their group did it, and I was like, oh crap, that was a mistake. In the future, when I go to college again,
right?
Not gonna happen.
Do it again.
Make friends.
I think I have to go take
Rich, thanks for coming.
All right, Rich.
Thank you, Rich. MMA at MMA Comic.
At MMA Comic. Thank you guys.
Thank you for stopping by the Time Machine.
All right. We will blow through these guys. Just a real quick, Green Day is being inducted in April in the Hall of Fame.
Oh, this Hall of Fame. Wow.
This year,
seems
2015.
So young, I guess,
I love. Well, have you heard what they do in concert?
They wreck shit. They're everywhere they go. Yeah. They're like true rock stars.
Yeah. But their concert, like a friend of mine had gone to a few, and he's like, they do this every time. At the end of the concert, they go, listen, if you can play any of these instruments and you really need to be able to play, we want you to come and play with the band.
Nice.
And they'll bring up kids and people and play the instruments as he sings.
As he sings along.
All their songs, like a couple of their songs. And then they give them their guitars.
Oh shit.
Wow.
I was like, what?
Awesome.
Will you guys take me back?
Come on back. He's back. Welcome back.
Funny.
The chairs are stacking themselves, apparently.
Fantastic.
That's awesome. All right. So.
Fantastic. We love it.
Yeah. Number 8 is How's It Gonna Be by Third Eye Blind.
How's it gonna be?
Yep.
Right. Yeah.
How's it gonna be?
Yeah. Thank you, Rich. That's more. Yeah. I remember having a crush on a girl, and that, you know what? When you get that feeling, like you were talking about, like Audra, was that her name?
Yeah,
like
Audra Rodriguez.
And which I'm not right away, like then you just hear a song, and because you have that flutter, and you're like, then you always associate that song.
What girl
with
was it?
Her name was Karen Wambach.
See, it sounds fake name.
Right? Sounds fake.
Sounds fake name.
But you know after this podcast over,
sounds like Wombat. Yeah.
You know we're gonna be going in that search bar on Facebook.
Yeah, everyone's gonna be looking it up. Like,
I'm writing down all these names. All right.
So yeah, it's a good song.
Number 7 is by Usher, and I just have to say this quote that he put. What an arrogant fuck. I'm a flamboyant guy, a cooler version of Liberace. What does that mean? He's kind of saying like I'm gay.
I think he's almost going the other way, like saying,
I'm
Liberace without the gayness. Like, I think that's what he's trying to say.
I don't know. I've heard some stories.
Have you really?
Yeah.
I don't know anybody that says Liberace's cool.
Right.
I mean, he's unique and interesting.
Right.
But it's not like
a gay guy.
that guy's fucking cool.
Right.
Did you guys see the HBO, the Michael Douglas as Liberace?
No, I didn't watch it.
So good.
Oh, it's so good.
So
Michael
good.
Douglas is so good in it.
Really?
And Matt Damon's in it too.
Matt Damon says he's amazing
because he's not like Matt Damon.
Oh, really?
You know what I mean? Like he's not.
So just because Michael,
obviously, married.
because Michael Douglas is such a cool cat, like Liberace comes across as a little cool in it.
Wow.
But I don't know, but like you said, I never saw footage of Liberace.
Right.
It always seemed very a little corny and that kind of thing. So I'm sure it's just the Michael Douglas tank.
But anyways, the song is nice and slow. We listened to
it.
We
listened to it early, didn't remember it. Does that sound familiar at all?
I just want to take it nice and slow. Tell me what you want to do.
It's got a great voice.
Yeah,
Right? Thank God.
I like this.
Yeah.
Yes. Number 6 is
Kiss
the Rain by Billie Myers. Remember her? She's kind of, what I say, she's kind of like Alanis Morissette.
You could tell it was like 2 years after Jagged Little Pill hit.
Right.
Like it's very much in that vein, like Angry Girl kind of.
Yeah.
I don't remember.
Do you remember? Do you listen? Can you say it?
Oh, I have it. I have it so we can hear it.
What's it called?
She was kind of hot too.
I don't remember this girl at all. Is this the
goes.
only hit she had?
Yeah.
What's it? Hold on, Fiona.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's nice.
Yeah.
What's the chorus?
Yeah, it should be coming out, right?
Okay.
Yeah, I probably thought it was Alanis.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not a guy song, I think.
And I talented Alanis.
Yes.
Yeah.
When I was at the Air Force Academy, freshman year, you couldn't have contraband, so we had this like secret panel that had our CDs.
Oh, sweet!
And they found them, and so the only 2 CDs I had were Alanis,
hilarious.
and then and then I think I had a CD of like a comedy one. So all I had was Jagged Little Pill. So when I worked all-nighters, I just put that on repeat.
Yeah, right.
So I know those songs.
To her now?
Yeah. I mean, I loved her.
Okay.
Like,
that's a great album. That's
like I want to make up for this dude that treated you that way.
Yeah, right.
I found out it was a comic.
Why?
Why, guy from Full House?
Oh,
yeah,
right.
It was all about Coulier. So I was like,
hilarious.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right. Number 5 is Getting Jiggy With It with Will Smith.
No.
Yeah, big. This is the height of Will Smith, right? Is his rap career.
Do you know he turned down a scholarship, like a full ride to MIT?
Really?
Yes.
Holy shit! I knew he was a smart guy, but I didn't realize that. I mean, that's a
big mistake,
right? Yeah.
I know, right? Loser. And then
They made Wild Wild West.
I know.
And the people at MIT were like, see what you get.
Come on back.
Exactly. You've been much better with us. Number 4 is Sarah McLachlan's Sweet Surrender, which all I can really hear now is Sad Dogs in Cages. You know, like I thought I liked her.
My second girlfriend.
Yeah.
What's her name?
Brennan Leyendecker.
Wait, Brenton?
Brennan.
That changed everything.
Very androgynously named.
Exactly. Yeah.
We are going to be doing a search.
She's actually a Facebook friend. It went well, and then
it was after I dated Pat and Terry. I met
Aaron and Sam. Yeah, but she played like McLachlan when we did it.
Oh.
Yeah, so like I love Sarah
nice.
McLachlan. I don't see dogs. I just see naked Brennan.
Nice.
Oh, that's
pretty
good.
awesome. Pretty
That
awesome.
is.
You are the most wonderfully girly macho man I've ever met.
Yeah, exactly.
I feel like you treat your cuticles.
No, I don't go that far.
This is for those who don't remember, it's the whole chorus is that, right? Like sweet.
Yes, with like a whole bunch of E's in the
yes, sweet is very long. Yeah.
Number 3 is Truly Madly Deeply by Savage Garden.
That was a good one.
Yeah, do you remember that? Yeah. We took a little listen before. Savage Garden, they had a nice little run. This was their kind of
I remember that song was getting play in 2002 when I was doing a lot of runs to the Middle East, and then we'd go to Bahrain, which is like the Vegas, the Vegas of the area, and that was the song on the radio
over and over.
So we would go to bars at night when they opened up bars for American servicemen, and we just all were like, everybody pick an accent. Do not be American tonight, right? So just use your IDs, no military IDs. So I used my Spanish accent, and then there's a guy who's like, I don't know any. We're like, pick one. He's like, I'm gonna do British, and it was the worst the worst British accent.
Everyone thinks they can do it, right? I do it, right? Everyone's like, yeah.
It was so terrible.
Governors in there.
Even the doorman was like, just let us in. But that was the big song at the time.
Hilarious. Where did you go that they used to say no service people?
There's so many places. I mean, in Virginia, where their whole industry is service members.
Yeah.
They have shots from the 60s and 70s. People on there that are like, no, sir, we don't serve service members here. Navy,
so
stay
crazy.
off the lawn, sailors, stuff like that. But Japan, Korea, there's a lot of places that, they still today don't let you in.
They still let the Air Force in.
Yeah,
we don't fight each other.
You guys are all nice. What were you going to say?
I was going to say, it was interesting that we're in San Luis Obispo talking about accents. When I moved back, I lived in Scotland for a year. And when I moved back, I had a pretty good accent. And my buddy was in college here. We went to the Frog and Peach, which is the nastiest bar in San Luis Obispo. And I wingman for him with the Scottish accent. And I was just racking him up for him. And he's such an idiot. He's gorgeous. But when he opens his mouth, he ruins everything.
It's good to have friends like that.
Yeah.
They're like bait, though. You throw them into a crowd of women, and then they all huddle, and then you bring in the smart friends.
That's a great, you bring up a good point. That's a good wingman tactic, to go with a big accent or something. Like, you know what I mean? You become memorable. You're right away. You're funnier with an accent, right? And then you play, but they don't want. Maybe they don't want to be with the crazy guy,
right?
So then they go to the other. That's a good wingman. I don't think it's probably pulled out enough by wingmen out there.
I have to say, I remember when I was single, my girlfriends and I would be like, God, guys talk themselves out of getting laid so much.
All the time.
It's crazy. If they just would, they would get laid way more.
Yep.
Especially when they're beautiful.
So say, I learned, even today, like.
What?
I talked myself out of it many times. I'm saying,
You're talking yourself out of it right now.
It's gone.
Yeah, we had a buddy like that in college, Brian Habus. We just threw Habus. He was a smart kid though.
You sure this wasn't a girlfriend of yours?
Her name was John. And we'd throw him into the crowd, and then he would just say, "Hello, how you?" He's a very nice guy, and then we would all come in and swoop in like vultures.
That's awesome.
It's great.
It's kind of like in Top Gun where they go in and sing, and then
exactly. I did that once. It did not go well. We were in uniform, like, you guys want to do this? There was a pretty girl outside of a movie theater, and like, yeah, let's do it. Afterwards, I was like, don't do it outside of a bar. It's got to be in a bar. She's got to be drinking. She can't just be coming out of a movie.
That's awesome. All right, two more. We've got the second one is 3 a.m. by
Matchbox 20, right?
Matchbox
20. It's 3 a.m. This is their big time too. I think Matchbox 20 hitting it all over.
Now, Push, was that about domestic violence? I want to push you around.
I mean, it sounds like
it sounds like that's why at the time I was like, you shouldn't push a woman. I learned that. You shouldn't do that.
I think it was emotional because the next line is, I want to take you for granted.
Guys, all over the place.
So physical and emotional.
Yeah.
That's good.
And then, of course, he goes solo a couple years. That's always how it happens, right? Like, they get to, he does a big thing with Santana. Right?
Oh, yeah.
Remember that song? That thing took over. It was probably maybe 99 right after this or something.
Blows up the male highlighter industry.
Yeah.
He had this quote too. It's funny. They have all these quotes of what people are saying that he says that he thinks that people.
This is the Matchbox 20 guy?
Yeah, that people are divided into two categories: people who have been to Graceland and people who haven't. And I'm like, well, I haven't, so I don't know.
That seems like a stupid comparison.
That's like a dumb comparison.
Yeah, there's two kind of people.
People that have died and people that are still alive.
Exactly.
So he's been there. So he's in the upper echelon of like people who are,
I can see like people who like Graceland and people who don't. Like at least there's a choice there. Like
this guy was a great singer and he put bacon on his pancakes. He's a man. It's a man.
Exactly.
I don't want to talk to that little African kid. He hasn't been to Graceland.
Exactly.
Listen up, Ubuntu.
You're done.
You ain't lived yet.
There's two types of people, son.
I think this site finds the best quotes to make these people sound like assholes, and that's what I like about it.
That's good.
Nice. Yes. All right, so number one.
Number one is I don't know the name of the song, but it's the Titanic song.
My Heart Will Go On.
Yes.
I believe.
Yes.
By Celine Dion.
By Celine. You couldn't miss it, right?
I like Celine Dion a little bit. I thought her music was a great voice, and then she was in the Muppets.
She was in the what?
That Muppets movie.
Which one?
And then last one in the one with
Tina Fey and that one?
Alternate frog.
Okay, I haven't seen that one.
Muppets Most Wanted.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, you solidified yourself. I like you.
Yeah.
She's got an amazing voice.
It's hard to,
yeah.
She did a funny song, and I was like, okay, she doesn't take a toe.
She's the Helen Hunt of scene.
That is a good comparison.
Handsome.
Yeah, she's a handsome woman. Yeah.
You have brought this shit around.
Well done. Well, I think that's an excellent point
Yes.
to end our show. Thanks for joining us on the Comedy Time Machine. We'd like to thank our guests. I'm going to put your Twitter up there again. Jose Sarduy. Check him out at Jose Sarduy, and MMA comic for Rich Slaton. Yeah, check it out. We thank you all for joining us. And also check out the San Luis Obispo Comedy Festival. Great festival. I think we're all having a blast here. And thank you guys for joining us.
Yay.